What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. Man, it's bad right now, and I swear to God, yeah, I got some videos coming in the next few weeks because I'm sure some of you man think, oh, YB, he loved to jump on Johnston, just like Tyson Fury be riding him. Yeah, ever since Tyson Fury been sticking his wick in Anthony Johnston, YB thinks he can have a go too. No, listen. This ain't got nothing to do with me trying to have a go on Johnson like Tyson Fury is. This is to do with the facts, people. And I've had this video for a while, but I just haven't got around to doing it. Listen, you man watch this video and you tell me what you think. How about that? Can I tell you what I'm going to think? In fact, I'm going to tell you now what I think. How about that? Yeah? This guy, Johnston, is running away from Lawrence Okolie. Now, I like Lawrence Okolie. Ever since he got with Shane McGuigan, that there is a dangerous pair. But this really ain't about Lawrence. This is about Anthony Johnston. We know what he needs to do. And I've been telling you, you can't... You have to train how you want to perform. If you train backing up from another cruiserweight, Lawrence Okolie, yeah? If you back up from a cruiserweight in training, how are you supposed to go in there against Usyk and be aggressive? I can't understand what his training team are doing. I've told you before, in this camp here, you shouldn't, genuinely, yeah. For example, when you watch a Canelo Alvarez fight, how often do you see him dancing around like that? Show me it. You don't, because he is the hammer, and what do hammers do? They hammer. You know what I'm saying? Hammers hammer nails. That is the kind of fire Anthony Johnston must be to succeed his potential. Get rid of the idea you're some fanny arounder. And that's what I mean when I say he contradicts himself. He says, oh man, you know, Tyson Fury called me a bodybuilder, so I wanted to prove I could box. Well, no, that's clearly not the case, because now you're doing it again. There's something wrong with your team and your psyche. You've got an affinity. You've been bred, or they've bred an affinity for you to shit your pants into you. You love to shit your pants. And just notice the subtleties that go on in this clip. Now I understand. I'm sure AJ fans will be saying, oh YB, it's only a clip. I don't give a what clip it is. Because I've been telling you about the clips for the last X amount of time. For the last 2 years I've been showing you clips that haven't looked good. And you've told me, oh YB, it's only a small bit of his training. You don't see it all, you idiot. Oops. Next thing you know, his head's getting boxed off by a cruiserweight. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I am buying into the clips. How about that? Because guess what? Whenever I see Alvarez in some clips, I don't see him dancing around from some dude. He's going in there walking straight forward. Because you prepare, in training, you prepare to fight how you want to fight. If anything, you should be more ferocious in training. So it's easier in the fight. In reality, you should get... I mean, look at Mike Tyson's historical training. When Mike Tyson was training, did you see him going in there and practicing how to run around backwards? No. Why would he do that for? Mike Tyson was renowned for actually going too hard. He didn't need to go that hard in training. But that shows you. That's the kind of... You have to... like, being ferocious, it's more than just a... You can't just flip the switch. You have to... people would talk about how brutal Mike Tyson was in training. He wouldn't give no one an inch. And I'm afraid to say... You tried it your way. You tried it this new funny style 2021 way. Oh, but you know, I've got 20 new trainers in, and they've learnt this special thing from the 70s and got this special strategy. It didn't work. Yeah? Get it in your head. Your training team full of bums. That's the bottom line. I don't want to hear no more about it. Full of bums. Yeah? And this guy again. And this clip was taken within the last few weeks. Certainly within the last month. I think about 2 weeks ago it came out. And what you see here is the whole narrative of this 10 seconds is AJ literally doing what he did in the Ruiz 2 fight and in the Pulev fight. Disengaging by miles and dancing around, circling off. Shitting himself. Bottom line. Again, Show me when you see Mike Tyson doing this in training or in the ring. Show me where you see Alvarez doing this in training or in the ring. And the worst thing is, people, even show me when Anthony Johnston, before 2017, was doing this. AJ, in his prime, was it's a shame that Sky don't let me do the breakdowns, because if I show more than 2 seconds of footage, they want to, you know what I mean, ban your account, so I can't show you. But go and do your own. In fact, I'll tell you what to do. Go and do your own research. How about that? I shouldn't have to spoon feed you, man. Or not. For the people who don't believe me, do your research. I'm telling you what's there. And what's there is, in 2015, 2016, when AJ's fighting Brazil, Dillian White, all them ones, the other guy, what's the guy's name? Charles Martin, all them fights, yeah, you see AJ, he's taking half steps back. And that's what aggressive fighting's about. Aggressive fighting isn't about disengaging and dancing around the ring. That's because it serves no purpose. The best aggressive fighters, they learn how to just take enough of a step back that gets you out of the range of your opponent, but keeps you in striking range. That's the ultimate hitting and not getting hit. If you disengage and dance off halfway around the ring, well, that's no good to no one. All that does is guarantee your safety. But it means you can't get nothing off yourself. And that's why you don't see aggressive fighters do that. Aggressive fighters, for the main, they take 1/2 step, maybe a full step back, and that's it. And then they're looking to get back on the attack. You don't see them taking full gallops backwards. When you're taking full gallops backwards, you shit your pants. And you're seeing it again. And this is what I'm saying when I say his team haven't got a clue what they're doing. These are the kind of habits need to be drilled out of him. You don't need... I can't understand where he's learnt it from. Because he wasn't doing this. Go back in the day. AJ has never... I've never seen AJ gallop backwards. Until really... around 2019 is when he started properly galloping backwards. Watch that AJ versus Parker fight. He's coming forwards the whole time. At best, he takes a step backwards, 1 step. You don't see... Show me in the Parker fight, yeah, where you see AJ galloping away from Parker and Parker's chasing him forward. You don't see it. Show me a video of Dillian White chasing AJ forward and he's galloping backwards. You don't see it. Even show me a video of Klitschko chasing him and AJ's back and dancing around the place. This was unheard of. AJ wasn't known as a man who runs backwards. But yet now, that's all he can do. All he can do confidently is shit himself and run backwards. He's scared of his own shadow, and that's why I say he needs to retire and save everyone the heartache. Because this current setup, they don't know what they're doing. And then for me, I can watch all of Anthony Joshua's, yeah? I can watch all of his bag work, all of his pad work. This shows you the minute it comes to actually engaging with someone real, even though clearly they haven't got gloves on, so they're not actually sparring, but even so, this shows you how nervous he is, because even though they're not really engaging, his first instinct, the minute he comes close to someone, his first instinct now is to completely run off and gallop backwards. And I'll tell you how you can contrast what I'm talking about. Watch Lawrence Okolie here. What do you notice about Lawrence Okolie in contrast? What happens when AJ, the few times in this video, yeah, you do see AJ plant his feet and throw combinations. What do you notice about Okolie? You don't see Okolie galloping backwards. In fact, at best you see Okolie take a half step back. And then immediately he's looking to come forward again. And guess what? Watch Lawrence Okolie's recent fights. That's what he's doing. He takes a step back and he's looking to get back on the offense. That's what high-level offensive fighting's about. You don't see high-level offensive fighters galloping backwards. What for? When you're the hammer, your opponent needs to be more worried of you than you are of them. So why would you be going backwards? That's their job. It's Usyk's job to have to figure out how to run backwards. It's not your job. Your job is to march forward and bet double down on yourself. I'm going to bet any shot he can land, I can land twice as hard. Any shot he can land on me, I can take twice as good. That's what you got to bet on yourself. And if you can't do that, retire. Because you ain't some magical boxer. And I've been saying that. All your funny style fangirls telling me that no, YB, AJ's got the ultimate IQ. He's thick. AJ is a low IQ Don. He's not high IQ. Get it in your head. He's not. If he was, he wouldn't have got his head boxed off. Yeah? Simple as that. You're not high IQ. The best you can do is become an efficient... And to be honest with you, that in itself is high IQ. Being efficient at anything. Being efficient and effective at defensive fighting takes high IQ, but you ain't that guy. And really, that's what makes me laugh. When people tell me, oh, AJ used to get caught when he was aggressive. That's because he was, again, not effective and not efficient. Because he's low IQ is my point. Yeah? But his best bet was to work on them elements that he already had naturally. You're not naturally a dancer. That's not your natural predisposition. I mean, you should be able to look at the guy. I haven't heard one person yet say that, you know what, AJ should be dancing around some more. Haven't heard one person. I've listened to a load of old school trainers talk. All of them. Stacey McKinley. What's the guy's name? The one that worked with Klitschko's. What's his name? Emmanuel Steward's right-hand man. I've got his name now. But James Ali Bashir. All them ones. I haven't had one person say yet, yeah, he needs to learn to dance around some more. Not one. But yeah, here we are. He's got his new fruity tooty 2021 trainers around him, and all he wants to do is disengage and run around. It's shocking. It really is shocking. We're here again. But I'm not surprised because nothing's changed. He hasn't got rid of the people who have got this influence. I'm going to add some more trainers. Dude, what is wrong with this guy? Seriously. Honestly, I think he'd been cloned. That's the truth. Because it's a lot like it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. Everywhere you look, it's another sign of things not making sense. Where has the guy gone from the 2015s, the 2014s, the 2016s? Where's that guy gone? Confident. When AJ knocked Dillian White out, he wasn't in there holding his hand up and giving him a hug, and he was ferocious, and rightfully so. It's the fight game. Where's that guy gone? I'm convinced it's not the same person. I'd honestly bet some money on it as well. I really would. If there was a bet, I'd bet. If we could find out, I'd bet on it. It just don't feel right to me. It don't. He's scared of his own shadow. It's mad. Proper mad. There's not one good thing about this. Not one bit. I'm sure AJ fans will look and say, oh, but YB, he throws combinations. Listen, get serious now. The only reason you saw him throw combinations is because they didn't have gloves on and they weren't sparring. If that had been a real... Think about it. AJ was running around without actually engaging. If they were engaging, he wouldn't have planted his feet once. You'd have seen him skirting from side to side. And it's shocking. Because, again... AJ fans would love you to believe that, oh, nah, it's just training YB. You've only seen a little clip of it. He's doing this behind closed doors. He's doing that. No, I'm sorry, people. Number one, like I said, I give you that chance already, and you blew it. You told me all these things were going on, but we couldn't see them, and it worked out how it worked out. So no, that don't work no more with me. I know what I'm seeing. I knew what I was seeing from the jump. You man are equally low IQ, thinking you know what you're talking about. You ain't got a clue, and that's why your man got his head boxed off, because you ain't got a clue. Too many of you man who ain't got a clue are in the camp. That's why the things are the way they are. Oh, YB, you're barking at the wrong tree, and you're making assumptions off of small clips. And for me, it always begs the question, why is it, whenever these clips come out, it's never the other way? And think about it. If it's just lucky or if it's just unlucky, yeah. Oh, you're just unlucky, YB. We've just seen another bad clip. If it was random, yeah. If we were seeing random clips that just so happened to be lucky, you'd think there'd be some clips that come out which were the other way, wouldn't you? Why is every single clip the same way of him shitting his pants or doing something wrong somewhere? You never see a clip of him practicing on keeping his hands up and tucking his chin in and making his guard nice and tight and catching shots and countering. You just don't see that, do you? You don't see him walking forward through the fire, parrying and catching as he comes forward and countering. You don't see that stuff, do you? So I'm sorry. I refuse to leave things to my imagination. Especially after what's happened in against Usyk, you'd think he'd be thinking, well, wait there a minute. If we're going to put footage out, let's at least show the people that we're working. Now, there'll be some people, oh, YB, he's doing this to trick you. No, we're not doing no tricks. Because, like I said, if it was a big trick, he wouldn't have been on the ropes. If this was a big trick, yeah, he wouldn't have been nearly knocked out. If you're in control, you know what I'm saying? It's not no trick. It's not no trick. Oh, he's trying to... and that's the... You can tell people who are the ultimate fangirls will say that it's a big... Oh, no, he's doing it to trick. No, it ain't no trick. Yeah? He wishes it was a trick. He wishes he would try and trick people. This is and the reason I say it's not a trick is this. I want people to appreciate the gravity of the situation we're in. To blow it off as, oh, it's all a big fix. Nah, it's not a big fix. Or certainly I'm not going to base it on it being a fix. And, oh, no, he's putting the footage out to confuse... No. Oh, I had one person tell me, oh, YB, he's putting out the bad footage to trick Usyk. Trick Usyk for what? That's what I don't get. Think about it. Tricking Usyk implies you need some sort of advantage. Or you're desperate for some sort of advantage. Do you know what I'm saying? For someone like Usyk, you shouldn't need to trick the man. It should be clear to... And that's what I was saying before the first fight. Before the first fight, I was saying... Why are we playing mind games for? Mind games for what? This is easy work. You go in there, you bend your knees, and you just walk forward. And you bang away. That's it. There's no tricks about it. Everyone should be on, you know what I'm saying? You only need tricks here when your core competencies aren't sufficient, innit? You only need to think outside the box here when you think, wait there a minute. What I do, my core competencies may not be enough here, so we better think of some tricky strategies. When you know what you got's enough, it's straightforward. Tricks for what? We're going in there, we're marching forward. He can know it. Everyone can know it. That's what's going to happen. I bet he's tricking people. He wish he were tricking people.